What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Hopefully everyone is having a good day and a good weekend. So if you didn't know, you're going to find out here in a second, but SXSW did kick off a couple of days ago. It is running through March 7th through March 15th. So it being March 9th, we're already starting to see several updates, several exclusive clips coming out of SXSW for 2025. Again, we're going to take a look at an exclusive clip for an upcoming film called The Surrender. We're also going to be dropping other various updates throughout the day and throughout early part of the upcoming week. As far as other exclusive clips that we've seen come out on films we hadn't heard about, at least hadn't heard too much about. We knew that they were coming, but as far as synopsises, trailers, exclusive clips, we've literally seen nothing, and we're starting to see some of those updates over the last couple of days. We're also starting to see several reviews. For example, I know one review that just recently dropped today was around the Paul Rudd film and the Jenna Ortega film, which I'm sure we all have seen the trailers. I think they've already done a couple trailers on, but Death of a Unicorn, which is coming out of A24. Now, the review that came out on that, I think this morning, wasn't very promising. It didn't look good. The review, I don't want to say it tore it apart, but it didn't make it seem like the film was too great, especially with the type of cast that it was able to achieve to get on to this film and to commit. Yeah, it's not looking good, but again, as I've always said, I feel things are very subjective when it comes to film and TV series. So once that film does become available, we will be checking it out for ourselves and doing a spoiler review. But these early reviews on some of these films that we've been hyped about aren't looking too good. But again, that's one person's opinion. But for this horror news update for this morning, we are taking a look at The Surrender sends Fraught mother and daughter on hellish dark ritual, SXSW exclusive clip. So we're going to jump into the article details here a bit. I know there's some quotes in here as I skim through it. I don't know if we're going to necessarily read it all. It is a pretty lengthy article, but I will drop the link for this article in the description of this video. So if you want to read through it all, you can feel free to do so. But we're just gonna run through a little bit of this, and then we're gonna watch the exclusive clip, which is about a minute and a half, just giving us an idea of what this film is going to be about, the tone of the film. So as we see here, exploring grief in the wake of loss is familiar terrain in horror, but writer-director Julian feature debut, The Surrender, excuse the conventional approach in a favor of visceral occult ritual horror. The Surrender stars Colby, Minifie, and Kate Burton as a prickly daughter and mother duo dealing with the loss of a patriarch, and their fraught relationship gets tested further when mom hires an occultist to resurrect her husband from the dead. I mean, just that alone, you can tell this isn't going to go well. As far as trying to raise someone from the dead. I hope this doesn't bring us into a zombie situation, because I feel we've definitely been getting our fill of zombie films lately and TV series, and I know we do have several zombie films on the horizon for 2025, so I'm hoping that's not what this one turns into. But based on the little brief note above, occult ritual horror, this may not fall within that realm, so fingers crossed it doesn't. Our exclusive clip below highlights just how tense this central relationship gets, but their argument gets interrupted by an unsettling arrival. Bloody Discussing spoke with Max about her gnarly feature debut ahead of its world premiere at SXSW, discussing the film's deeply personal origins and how it birthed a thrilling, bloody, horror-heavy entry in grief horror. Okay, so I'm going to be honest, not too many films. I can't think of a large number of films, or even a medium-sized number of films that would fall within grief horror. I think you could almost tag very many films as grief horror as far as a subgenre goes, but to call one outright and say this is strictly, grief horror cult film, I'm interested to see this one just based on some of the details we've got thus far. So we have a very lengthy article. We start getting into almost an interview format here, where we get into various quotes. I'm not going to read through all this, otherwise this is going to be a pretty lengthy video. So we're just going to kind of jump down here a little bit more and just kind of cherry pick some of the pieces of information here. So let's keep going down here. Let's see. Here, while the surrender puts its characters through the ringer in every way, never sacrificing the horror in its bid to work through grief, the experience brought catharsis to its creator. It's interesting, there's really no full resolution when that happens. Max reflects on the way the death of a loved one often leaves so many lingering questions that will never be answered. Quote, but one of the things that I took great comfort in when writing is it made me understand my mom and appreciate her so much more because I was so close to my stepfather. And losing him, going through that with her, I realized it really is about the people who are left behind. That's all you have left. Yeah, so we go on a little bit more quotes here, and we have the clip here. There's no first poster release for this. So again, I'll put the link for this article in the description of this video. If you want to read through all the kind of back and forth quotes and questions, you can do so. So let's get back to the top of this article. All right, so let's jump over to this exclusive clip for the surrender and see what we're getting ourselves into.
Treated me like a child that was getting in the way.
Oh, fine. It's my fault that you left. Is that what you're saying? Fine. Then it is my fault. No, it is your fault that you stayed away so long. You should have come back sooner. You should have come back when he was coherent enough to recognize you.
I didn't know how bad it was. You just kept saying he was doing fine.
Nobody says those kind of things. I'm not going to go into every excruciating detail. The weight loss, the vomit.
You should have told me.
You knew he was sick. And you just didn't want to deal with it.
No, you didn't want to deal with it. He wanted to die in peace without the chemo, but you forced him into treatment even though the doctor said it wasn't going to save him. But it didn't matter what he wanted, and it didn't matter what I wanted, because the only thing that ever fucking matters is what you want.
Go. Finding the place. This is Megan.
So obviously, like I mentioned, it was only about a minute and 35, 40 seconds. So not a big clip, and not a big clip as far as where we're seeing a full amount of suspense, a full amount of mystery. I mean, a little bit of mystery there, obviously, to figure out who this individual is. Now, I can see this kind of hitting on many notes, definitely hitting on the grief. And I think depending upon where you are at in life, I think many people might be able to relate to this type of relationship to a parent, especially if one has passed or is sick and might be passing soon. I mean, you can clearly see here the mother, feeling that you should have just known to come and visit him and come and see him, and the daughter saying, you told me not to. You told me everything was fine. So definitely everyone handling grief in different ways, and then obviously that frustration and then lashing out, I think a little bit there. So we're obviously going to see an interesting dynamic between the mother-daughter, while the stepfather for her and the mother's husband either already has passed or is passes some point in the movie. So we do know he does pass, but I'm wondering now if in the movie, because what we're seeing here, she obviously knows of the person she just let in the door, and we know from the article it's this individual to do with this occult to try and bring the husband back to life. Now again, the mother seems to know of this person, may not know him directly. The daughter didn't seem like she knew, maybe she didn't know who this person was, but I can't imagine this individual showing up and the daughter having no knowledge. So what makes me think is that this is somewhere maybe a quarter of the way in, halfway in through the movie, the stepfather husband passes, And now they're having this argument about even going this route, and the mother has made the decision, and this individual shows up, and that why they both obviously have this reaction when the door gets knocked on. So, and then we see a black screen, you know, once he kind of shows his face. I'm excited to see this one. I mean, like I said, this teaser, this exclusive clip doesn't really give away a whole lot. I hope we do get a trailer here soon, since this has already been shown at SXSW. So I'd imagine we probably won't see it until sometime after the 15th, once the event is over, and then hopefully then we'll get some dates as to when this will get released. Maybe some first few posters, and again that first teaser, or maybe even a full trailer. So more to come on this one. As we know more, we'll make sure to bring it to you. But drop a comment in the comment section. Let us know what you think about The Surrender. It appears to be a grief horror, occultist type horror. So again, let us know if this is something you're interested in. If not, still drop a comment in the comment section. Let us know if this just seems like something, just seems like a pretty type boring, you know, slow burn horror that you're not interested in. Also, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And for all those who have, thank you so much for all the support. It is greatly appreciated. And we will see you at the next one. Peace.